Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how we went to the Washington Midsummer Renaissance Fair and showing you a little bit of footage from the day that we actually went. I wanted to do this as like a full vlog style video, but I'm not super experienced with those, to be honest with you, and I still am getting kind of more comfortable with the concept of filming in public, which, by the way, if you have never done it, it is really awkward. And it takes a lot of getting used to and practice, and that's something I'm definitely going to be practicing in the future, because I do want to take you guys out on more, adventures out in the world, as well as adventures in my craft room. So let's jump back in time and go to the Renaissance Fair. Hi! Today is Ren Faire, so I'm gonna go ahead and put on some makeup and get myself ready to go, and we're gonna go have some fun. So I started with my brows. I like to do a fairly strong brow, just with a basic brow gel. What I'm going for with this makeup is kind of a really simple but waterproof, for one thing, and a little bit of like a light elven influence. So I'm starting with a cream eyeshadow base, and then using an eyeshadow that is really close to my skin tone to blend between that cream and my skin. And then I am adding a gold tone all over my lids that's a little bit lighter than everything else to bring a little bit more light to my eyelids. My goal was to bring as much light into my face as far as like the eye area, without actually doing any makeup on my face itself. And then using a blending brush, I am adding rose gold to my crease just to add a little bit of depth without making things too dark. It's a very subtle makeup look, but it does the trick. And then a little bit of a shimmery white to the inner corner of my eye, as well as the outer under corner of my eye to just add a little bit more light into things. Kind of works the same way that a highlighter does. And then one of the last steps is to add my eyeliner. I like to do something kind of like a fox eye with my eyeliner. I don't really have the wing go up much. And I'm just trying to do this to both elongate my eye a little bit as well as sharpen up the edges of everything. And I do like to bring the liner down towards my tear duct a little bit further than is probably considered normal, because I do feel like it does give me that kind of like ethereal, otherworldly look. And then I just repeat this on the other eye, as close as I can. And then I just add a little bit of concealer under my eyes just to make sure I don't look too tired. And then a little bit of waterproof mascara to top things off. As I said, everything is waterproof here except for the powder eyeshadows, which basically stay put because of the cream shadow. Okay, time to get dressed. We're here! It's big! It's very big!
That's what she said.
Ah! Off we go to Ren Faire. 8-mile-long parking lot walk comes free. Price of ticket.
He has a turkey leg. It is the size of a small planet. Do a little rotation for me. Do a little spinny spin.
A little rotisserie.
this thing. Think of it.
Or is it?
And your hand on down. Very good first pass, Eagle. Very good, Eagle. One more. And let's finish up. Coming in very fast here.
What a gorgeous horse. Oh my goodness. The birds are talking.
Oh, that was the owl.
Was it the owl?
That was the owl.
Did he go "Hah" again?
Yeah.
Go "Hah." They're so beautiful. I love them.
The weather. In the forecast, we'll see most high of about 81 degrees Celsius. That's approximately 30 degrees. Going about 28 degrees. Don't ask you to do math on the fly.
Even in the wild, they'll do something called backstacking. Now, these shooters doing a pyramid. That's pretty much what they do. They will, and you can see like 3 or 4 of them.
So I was not able to get a ton of footage from that, just because I am still getting comfortable with the concept of filming in public. It's not something I've done a whole lot before. As you know, this is not really much of a vlog channel, so I do want to sprinkle them in throughout, you know, occasionally once every couple of months though, so it's something I really need to work on in practice. But I did think it would be fun to show you the little haul that we got when we were there, as well as talk about the experience in general and, you know, thoughts and opinions. So we'll start with the haul. There was a couple of things that I personally picked up for myself, and then some things that we got to share. So I think I'll start with the shared things, which mostly consists of tea. I am a big fan of the Spice Traders Teas company, and they were not at the Washington Midsummer Renaissance Fair last year, which was a bummer, but totally understandable. But they were back this year and better than ever in my opinion, and we picked up some tea. So we went a little peach heavy this time. So we got 5 different flavors and I'm really excited. We've only tried one of them so far, but it was really good. We got peach Bellini, my personal favorite, which is the Tudor Rose, one that I haven't gotten from them but I do like in general, which is Moroccan Mint. Their Blue Moon tea, which has butterfly pea flower in it, so of course it will do the whole fun color change thing that everybody loves. And then the one that we've tried so far, which is the Elderberry Peach, which is really good. It makes a fabulous iced tea. I thought it was fantastic. So aside from the teas that we picked up, which were partly to replenish existing stock, we also grabbed some tankards. There's something we've been looking for a while in the correct style. If you go to basically any Renaissance fair, there's going to be a really wide selection of tankards available that you can get. People will do different styles. A lot of them are, you know, metal, and then they have like leather wrapped around them. And initially I thought maybe that was the kind I wanted to go with, but I feel like for my costume this year, which was my wonderful like royal elf shenanigans, I felt like a just metal one really was the right way to go. So I ended up getting this gorgeous one with this beautiful detailing around the bottom and the rim and the base. I felt like it was really delicate and gorgeous, while still being a nice size for drinking. I also purchased this leather strap so that I could attach it to my belt. So next year, I'll be bringing my tankard with me, and it'll be part of my garb from now on, so that I can have a nice reusable, non-wasteful cup to drink out of, because that's one thing that I don't love about like fairs and things like that, is there's a lot of garbage and recycling that's produced from it, just because, you know, everything is single use basically. So this is something that I've done for a while and I just couldn't find the right style, so I will be using my tankard from now on for water and root beer, which is a high priority of mine because we always get the really delicious honey root beer. That's the other thing. That's another thing that we got. So my husband also got a tankard from the same place as mine. I don't remember what shop it is, but if I do remember, I'll put it in the description below, because most of the vendors go to like multiple Ren Fairs, so you probably will be able to find them at yours. But this is the one that my husband got, which funny enough is kind of an inverse of mine. Like, I thought that was hilarious. So we now have tankards that we can put on our belts and wander around and probably get smacked in the hip by it as we walk, but you know, it'll make things easier for us and less wasteful and all that good stuff. And then the final purchase that we made as far as like physical stuff was actually something my husband bought, which is a really, really gorgeous dice box, as well as a set of dice. They are frankly stunning. I believe the box is made of walnut, and we got it from a vendor called Talon and Claw. They had a whole bunch of really, really gorgeous like D&D and tabletop gaming accessories. There was a bunch of gorgeous wooden boxes and dice towers and like just anything you could think of basically. They had really fancy like DM screens and stuff too. It was really cool. So he got this really beautiful box and I was so tempted to also get one, but I had to stop myself just because I had already spent about what I had budgeted for myself so far. Just thought that was beautiful. He has good taste. It has the shards of Narsil on it, as well as some Elvish script, which I actually don't know exactly what it says. I need to look it up. So that is everything that we actually picked up at the Ren Fair this year. It was a small amount of stuff, but I think it was all really good. There are some years when we spend a lot more and we buy a lot more stuff, but this just wasn't in the cards for us this year. So for the overall experience at the Ren Fair this year, things were definitely better than last year. This year they only sold tickets online, none at the door, and I think it made a giant difference. There was basically no line to get in, which it was I think a 4-hour wait last year, if I recall correctly. The location changed this year as well. It used to be down south a bit. This year it was only about 30 minutes from where we live, which was really nice. And there was like almost no line to get into park either. And then there were like crew members who were directing where people should be parking, which was really, really great. I have to say the staff did amazing this year. Like, giant kudos to them. There were more water stations and they were easy to find. As far as the new location goes, it was better, I think, than the old one as far as getting in and out. However, I will say it was really dusty. That is something that is probably really common to a lot of Ren Fairs. I think I've heard the same thing about like the one in LA as well, that it's just like wildly dusty. And part of the problem is that ours is not under any tree cover. It wasn't at the old location and it wasn't this year either. And that's something I would really say would make a big difference, is if they had more tree cover and more shade available. You know, they have our Ren Fair in August here and it is dry and hot and it's honestly, it's just really uncomfortable. So The only places you can really get much shade are at the 3 big pavilions that they set up that are basically just like giant tent canopy things. And I mean, like, they're huge, but they're always packed because it's the only place you can get shade at the whole place. The other thing I've always thought was that it would be really cool if our Ren Faire wasn't just in August. In years past, like a long time ago, like 10 years ago, maybe more, that was when you had the biggest guarantee for the best weather here. But as climate change occurs, that has shifted. So honestly, we could have it start as early as June here at this point, and it would be fine. It might rain once in a while, but like they could start it in June and it would be a little bit cooler and I think a lot more enjoyable, just because the heat out in the sun with no real shade opportunities it's really rough. So if they could work with the venue to like move into a park with more trees, that would be really cool. I don't know if that's possible, but it would definitely make it a more enjoyable experience. But other than, you know, the typical hot, dusty, it was great. It was really fun. We had a great time. We got to see all of the usual Ren Faire sites. The falconry was really cool. I don't think we've ever really watched that at ours, and it was really neat. We got to see Jacques the Whipper, which was really kind of surreal because I've been following him on TikTok for a while, and it's like that, like, this is an internet person and there he is in front of me. His show was really cool. It was hilarious and very entertaining. I just wish there was more shade. It's the big thing. But yeah, it was a really enjoyable experience, and I would say much better than last year's, and I'm definitely willing to go again. But I do think that we are probably going to try to travel to a different Ren Faire next year. We're kind of talking about it, so I think this is the first year I didn't really get like a bad sunburn in any way because I was wearing a cloak the whole time. It did get a little on my nose, but I think it's already gone. But yeah, had a really good time, got some really cool stuff, and can't wait for next year's Ren Fairs. So this is going to be the final video in my Ren Faire series for the year. So I will see you next time in a more autumnal video. But until then, go ahead and check out the Ren Faire playlist that I have set up. If you liked this one, you'll probably like that too. See you next time. Bye.